What's up, guys? This is Nightlinks coming at you with the deck profile. First one I've done in a really long time, actually. But for this new season of Yu-Gi-Oh, I decided to play Shaddolls, but more specifically, I decided to play Stardust Clowndolls, which I really am enjoying this build. This super consistent, really powerful, and I don't think that anyone else has decided to play this or discovered this build yet, so I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so we are playing double Squamata, double Dragon. Play 2 Dragon just because we're not maining MST, so really good for getting rid of extra back row. 2 Beasts. Didn't really like 3, it was a little too cloggy for me. Like it at 2, I think it's perfect. Play 2 Hedgehog instead of 1 for 2 reasons. Number 1, to help get the Shaddol fusion spells to my hand as much as possible, and number 2, because it's a level 3, and in this particular build, level 3s are really helpful with synchro plays. And then double Falco. Playing double Falco instead of 1 because not playing Soul Charge, so really helps get my Shaddol fusion monsters back from the graveyard if in the event my opponent happens to destroy them. And that's it for the Shaddolls. 2 of each of the main ones. And then we're playing 3 Damage Juggler. Play this guy at 3 because he's really awesome. You really want to see him as much as possible, either in your hand or in your graveyard. When he's in your hand, you can discard him to negate battle or effect damage, and when he's in your graveyard, you can banish him to search out any of the other Perform Mage monsters from your deck and add them to your hand. So that's why we play 3. Really good. And then 2 Trick Clown. Some people only play this guy at 1. I like him at 2. Just I like having a second one as a backup for extra plays, because a lot of the time I'll use his effect, bring him into play, and then send him off the field into the graveyard again, and then can only use his effect once per turn. So a second one is good as a backup. And then double Hat Tricker. Really wish I had room for a 3rd. Love this little guy. He's a free special summon, but I really don't, so I play 2 just for consistency. And then 3 Mathematician. This is one of the best cards in this deck, specifically because with the Stardust Warrior engine in the extra deck, like, you get this guy first hand, or opening hand, and either with Hat Tricker or any of the Shaddol fusion spells or instant fusion, and you can literally go into Stardust Warrior first turn. It's gross. And then 1 Glow Up Bulb and 1 Jet Synchron. Glow Up Bulb is pretty standard why we play him. It's a tuner, and also it's an earth, so we can make Shikanaga with it. So when it's in your graveyard, you mill a card, bring yourself back. Jet Synchron, just because with the Stardust Warrior engine, and also just in general, he's a really awesome little guy. He's like Glow Bulb in a way in that he brings himself back from the graveyard for the cost of discarding a card. So you discard Trick Clown or Damage Juggler and bring him back, and then you get their effects from the graveyard. Really awesome. And then last for the monsters, 1 BLS, pretty standard. And then spells, my favorite card in the deck, 3 Shaddol Fusion. A lot of people play 2, I like 3 just because this card just helps me go off and make a lot of big plays. 2 El Shaddol Fusion. Wish I had room for a 3rd. I understand this card is just as important as Shaddol Fusion, but just couldn't find room for a 3rd one just because we are playing instant fusion in the extra deck as well, or in the deck as well. And then instant fusion, because Norden, yay, he's finally out. Thank you, Konami. Yeah, this card is just awesome with Norden. I mean, you bring him out, he makes plays. I mean, we all know what it does. We've all play tested it. And then 1 Raigeki and 1 Foolish Burial. And that's it for spells. And then for traps, we've got 2 Shaddol Core. Play 2 core. I know a lot of people only play 1, but play 2 core for consistency, and it helps me go into any of my Shaddoll monsters that I need a lot quicker, like an Anoyatilis and stuff like that. Also, when I dump it with Construct, it gets me back my Shaddoll spells, and really, really awesome. I like playing 2. Double Breakthrough. I was playing Double Veiler for a while, but I switched it out for Double Breakthrough just because it's more consistent. It's has more uses than Veiler, and it's also better against the Clyfort matchup. And then for the 1-0s, we have 1 Shadow Games. Really only like it at 1. I rarely ever have a need to use it. It's just kind of there just to help in case. 1 Bottomless. 1 Ring. No matter what anyone says, I love this card. It's just awesome opening game or early game. 1 Crush card, just because I love to cripple my opponent's hand. 1 Vanities, and 1 Solemn Warning. And that's it for the main deck. It's 41 cards. And then for the extra deck, we've got 1 Winda, 2 Construct. Wish I had a third, I simply don't. Otherwise I would be playing 3, but she's really awesome. Also, space in the extra deck is really, really tight, so I make 2 work. 1 Anoyatilis, and 1 Shikanaga. And then the Norden. Yay, Norden. Woohoo! Thank you, Konami. And that's it for fusions. Just 6. And then for the synchros, we have 1 Haster. I specifically really love this card. I was playing TG Hyper Librarian in this space for a long time, but when this card came out and I found out what it did, it's so much more viable for opening up plays and allowing me control over the field and what my opponent can do. For those of you who don't know what he does, when he's in the monster zone and he's just sent to the graveyard for any reason, you place him in the spell and trap card zone and equip him to a face-up monster that your opponent controls, and he becomes a Fiendish Chain. He negates the monster's effect, and the monster cannot attack. And when he leaves the spell and trap card zone for any reason, if he's destroyed or if he's bounced to the extra deck, you take control of that monster permanently. And he is the nuts. I'm sorry. He makes amazing plays. And then 1 XL Synchron for summoning Stardust Warrior. 1 Jet Warrior. This is mainly the backup to Stardust Warrior for when your opponent gets Stardust Warrior off the field, and you use Stardust Warrior's effect to bring this guy into play and bounce a card and disrupt what your opponent's doing. 1 Etruria Beast. Really, really good for Necros and also strategically interrupting the Clyfort plays. 1 Goyo. A lot of people only play this guy, or don't play this guy actually. They don't play him. They don't really like him anymore, and I love this guy personally. He's a level 6 2800 beater that steals whatever he kills. I mean, you can't really sleep on that. And then last for the synchros, Stardust Warrior. Dun, dun, dun. Love this card. For anyone who does not know what this card does, he has a Thunder King summon negate ability. When your opponent would special summon a monster, you can attribute him to negate the summon. And then at the end of the turn, he brings himself back from the graveyard like Stardust Dragon. And when your opponent removes him from the field in any way, whether they banish him, bounce him, or destroy him, you special summon from your extra deck 1 Synchro monster level 8 or lower that includes Warrior in its name. And that's why we play the Jet Warrior. So, really, really love this card a lot. He's really awesome. And he's a 3000 beater. And he's super easy to make. Like, you can make this guy literally first turn if you have Mathematician. And then for the Xyz, we play 1 Castel, 1 Karen Gorgon, and 1 Trapeze Magician for the OTK. Also, these are just generally 3 of my all-time, probably absolute favorite Xyz monsters, especially Trapeze Magician. I really love the Arc 5 anime. I watch it every week, and it's one of my favorite cards, and I've been waiting for a long time for it to come out. So yeah, so that's the deck. Really, really love it. Looking forward to playing it, and hopefully you guys like it and playtest it because it's really, really fun and really, really awesome. It gives you a lot of control and it gives you a lot of power. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. Nightlink's out.